Every time I get on a flight, I always touch the plane right before I get on, and I say a little quiet prayer. And I got on the flight, and the pilot says, all right guys, it's expected to be a pretty smooth flight, with the exception of once we get closer to Atlanta, then we'll get some turbulence. Well, the flight ended up being turbulent for the entire flight. So 2 hours of shaking and quaking in that plane. And it wasn't the typical like boom, beep, boom, beep, boom. It was shaking and quaking, and everybody was quiet. And I had my headphones on. I was singing and listening to worship music, and then I started praying. And I said, you know, I got the authority to speak to the winds, and because Jesus is my Father, and I can command that they calm down. And I started speaking to the winds and saying, you know, under the authority of Jesus. And you know, the plane kept shaking and quaking. After a while, I was just thinking in my head, like, you know what we do, like, what am I doing wrong? Is there something I need to learn? And in fact, I did need to learn something. The Lord revealed to me after 2 hours of being in severe turbulence. He says, April, the goal is for you to always to pray, for you always to connect with me, for you to know and have faith that I am capable of doing anything and everything. Well, there are some times where you just have to endure the storm. I'm in it with you, but the shaking and the quaking is going to continue. Sometimes it's going to get worse before it gets better, but you have to know that I am right there with you, even if I don't stop it. So that's for somebody today.